everyone. Thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras here with ILTV's Morning Briefing. Jerusalem City Hall is looking to receive an East Jerusalem housing project that was stalled under the Obama administration. The plan would entail the creation of 10,000 apartments for the ultra-Orthodox Jews in the now defunct Atarot airport and would be the Jewish state's biggest housing projects in East Jerusalem. The original construction project had been shelved because the Obama administration had viewed settlement construction as an impediment to peace. However, after Donald Trump's inauguration, Jerusalem City Hall began exploring the possibility of expanding the Jewish presence in East Jerusalem, as Trump has been seen as less critical of Israeli settlement expansion. Though the new neighborhood is being built for ultra-Orthodox Jews, many leaders within the Haredi community have come in opposition to the plan because of its proximity to Palestinian neighborhoods and distance from the city center. Police are now investigating a possible price tag attack in the Palestinian village of Huwara in the West Bank. Sometime late last night, a van was torched by what many are suspecting to be a hate crime perpetrated by far-right Israelis. The group Rabbis for Human Rights claimed that a cloth with illegible Hebrew letters inscribed on it was found. In February, Israeli security forces were reportedly bracing for an expected increase in attacks against Palestinians by far-right settlers as reprisal for the forced evacuation of the illegal Amona settlement. As of yet, police have not confirmed a suspect or motive for the crime, but Huwara has been a flashpoint between Israeli and Palestinian tensions in the past, as just last Friday, villagers were attacked with rocks by about 50 members of the Tzchal settlement. The skirmish only ended after the intervention of Israeli security forces. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu came under harsh criticism yesterday from his old IDF commander. Amiram Levin had served as Netanyahu's commander in the elite Sayeret Matkal commando unit and then went on to serve as deputy head of Israel's premier intelligence organization, the Mossad. In a statement released yesterday, Levin used the prime minister's nickname, saying, quote, "Bibi, I remember you as a good officer. You were good because you served for just 6 years. Bibi, you have been in power for too long. What you haven't gone and done in 6 years, you won't do. The sooner you go, the better," end quote. Though Levin has never served in public office, last year he was a keynote speaker at a Meretz Party convention and has now joined the Labour Party, vying for a seat in their primary election. In the past, Levin garnered controversy by showing support for the left-wing organization Breaking the Silence, which is an organization founded by IDF veterans which publicizes alleged human rights abuses committed by Israeli security forces. In a landmark move, a Detroit court yesterday accepted the plea of guilty from Palestinian activist and terrorist Razmia Odeh. Odeh stands charged with failing to disclose her criminal terrorist past to the immigration authority in her applications for United States citizenship. As a consequence, the 69-year-old Odeh will be deported to Jordan in the months ahead. Her first conviction was in 2014, where she was sentenced to 18 months in prison. The time was never served, however, as the verdict was overturned. The second trial was scheduled, and Odeh eventually accepted a plea agreement in which she would avoid jail time, as long as she pled guilty, and forfeited her U.S. citizenship. Odeh was convicted by Israeli courts in 1970 for 2 bombings, one of which resulted in the death of 2 young men in a Jerusalem supermarket, 21-year-old Leon Kanner and 22-year-old Eddie Joffe. She was sentenced to serve a life term in prison, but was traded in 1979 with the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, or the PFLP. In 1994, she applied for a United States visa to join some of her family members in Michigan. Then again in 2004, she applied for citizenship. She failed to disclose her terrorist past and prison sentence, however, on both applications. Such a record surely would have disqualified her. According to Special Agent Steve Francis of Homeland Security Investigations in Detroit, quote, "The United States will never be a safe haven for individuals seeking to distance themselves from their pasts," end quote. Odeh's defense argued once that she had been tortured in prison and suffered from PTSD, possibly giving her just cause in lying on her application. But the presiding judge, Gershwin Drain, ruled these arguments irrelevant to her case, and as part of her plea agreement, she signed that she made the false statements, quote, "intentionally and not as a result of any mistake, post-traumatic stress disorder, or any other psychological issue or condition, or for any innocent reason." For the first time in Israel's history, a female judge has just been appointed to serve in the Sharia court system. Hannah Khatib was appointed by unanimous election through the Kadis, or the Committee to Elect Sharia Judges. Justice Minister Ayelet Shaked, who heads the Kadis, said the election of a female Muslim religious judge should have happened a long time ago. Khatib is from the Lower Galilee and has for a long time been a practitioner of family and Sharia law in Israel. Sharia courts were recognized by the State of Israel since the state's founding in 1948 and have been in the region of Israel since long before the British Mandate. The Sharia courts are dedicated to settling personal issues for Israel's Muslim community, from marriage, divorce, and domestic violence cases to religious conversion and inheritance. Knesset member Sulaiman of the Joint Arab List called the appointment an historic step in the Arab feminist movement in Israel, a step that benefits not only Arab Muslim women, but the entire Arab population. Hannah Khatib will be sworn in by Israeli President Rivlin in just a few weeks' time. That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.